degree situation.
Okay, took a little break. But we're back.
We are back. We are less forlorn than ever.
Yes.
We're out here. It's the No Food Allowed podcast. Just kidding. It's funny because it says No Food Allowed right there. All right, where were we?
Okay, so we were talking about talking adulting. And the next question I'm going to ask you is what motivates you to reach your goals?
What motivates me to reach my goals? Dogs.
Dogs?
Dogs.
Okay.
Dogs. I think that really, like, so right now in my life, I've had to come to, I had a midlife crisis, and that's how old I am. And I decided on a few things, or I've not decided, but I've come to peace with a few things. And like, so, I love my where I am professionally. It's great. My bartending job is really cool. Like, I get to do all the stuff I want to do. Professionally, I get to interact with people. I get to get people drunk, make myself more handsome and charming. Just kidding. But that is true. If you drink a lot around me, I become way more charming and handsome. Um, but they're important because now I'm able to reach out into this creative world and do this, and I get to sort of have a public voice. And I want to use my voice to help out dogs. And I think that we have we have so many dogs in the shelters, so many dogs in the shelters, so many dogs in place with owners that they really shouldn't have. There's so much dogs are not being represented properly. And I'd really like, if I was to become grotesquely famous, or if I became marginally famous, my goal would be like to be the Carol Baskins of dogs. You know who Carol Baskin is?
Oh, no.
So she's a very controversial character, but what her statement is, she does big cat rescue, and she's the only, I think she's now the only or one of very few federally licensed big cat handlers. With doing so, she made it hard for smaller ones, like these small, like kind of like puppy mill types of big cat producers and zoos and things that were these animals were not being treated properly to become illegal. And it's all over. There's a show called the Lion or the Tiger King. It was on Netflix during the pandemic. It was huge, and it covers that whole thing. I highly recommend it if you're not familiar.
Okay.
But
okay.
she was not the focus of the show. The focus show is Joe Exotic, but Carol Baskin was his arch nemesis. And I think now, through this whole litigation thing that he's involved with, she sued him for a bunch of money. Now he has to work for her or something. She has rights to his productions or whatever it is. But her whole main thing is she made big cat and big animal breeding and ownership harder on the smaller producers, because the smaller people they're unable to provide these environments that these animals need. So I want to do the same thing for dogs. So the short of the long is, I want to save all of the dogs that are in the shelters, all the dogs that are being mistreated, all the dogs. Arf woof woof to my dog friends. That's why it's important, because the way I can save the dogs. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Oh, never mind. We're not going to talk about it. But I don't know. There's a funny video of a guy breaking up a dog fight the other day.
Oh, really?
We're not going to talk about it. It involves him sticking his finger in places that...
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, don't say the dog's that way. Buy him a drink first.
Oh, my gosh.
From the Catamount Lounge at 124 East Main Street.
That's a nice way to end it. Hold on. No, I asked you if you have any spiritual tendencies, and you said that you have seen a lot. What exactly have you seen?
Let's see. Things I've seen in my life that are wild. I have seen a guy riding a unicycle at 30 miles per hour down Main Street in Front Royal. That's the wild stuff I've seen. I've seen a lesbian knife fight outside of an NA meeting. That's something I've seen.
Those can get rough.
Yeah, and I've also seen some cool stuff like I've seen um, Guns N' Roses live in
Oh
2016.
wow,
That was awesome. Um, I've
that's some good
seen
music.
my daughter grow up to become a fantastically awesome young woman.
That's always
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, that's good. I've seen good, I've seen bad, I've seen some really cool stuff. Like I've had some very cool opportunities. My brother was a very big time dude in New York for a while, and he got me into the World Trade Center, into his office there. Got to see that. I've seen the world through the World Trade Center. Um, I don't know. It's been a cool ride, man. It's been a cool ride. So, spirituality wise, though, man, I'm a pretty spiritual dude, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I like,
you
I
told
think,
me.
yeah, I think that there's like, there's a misconception between being religious or being a religious zealot and being a spiritual person. And to go to what I was saying before, like I think that the ultimate gift given to us is the ability for like love, compassion, and connectivity.
Yeah.
And I think that the divisions that we've created socially, internationally, religiously, sexually, culturally, ethnically, are just they're all used as a control mechanism to
Oh
keep
yeah.
keep a greater good from overcoming a smaller a minority of control people in power, people that can control that. I'm a wholehearted. I wouldn't say that. I think I was raised Catholic and Episcopalian. Went to
Okay.
Catholic school, and so my religious influence has always been Christianity, and so and I think that a lot of times people misconstrue what Christianity is, because Christianity is supposed to be the teaching of Jesus, right?
Oh yeah.
And Jesus was a cool ass dude, man. And
Oh
like, so
yeah.
I try to be, I think like much like in a less anti-Semitic way, I'm a lot like Yeezy in that I try to live Christ-like, right? And living Christ-like meant, you were generous, you were kind, you're accepting, you're understanding, but you also got to love them hoes. All right, now,
Yeah.
if you don't know, there was a woman named Mary Magdalene who
Oh
was
yeah.
Jesus's, I think speculatively speaking, his girlfriend, and she
Yeah.
was the biggest prostitute in all of Bethlehem, or Israel, or wherever they were. And so I make that joke sometimes that there's a lot of Catholics in the crowd. They get it. I'm like, yeah. But to speak is like Jesus didn't hang out with the goody two shoes. Jesus was in the trenches, man. Jesus
Oh
was out
yeah.
there. He was in the mud, like they say, man. He was out there. He was with the gamblers. He was with the thieves. He was with the prostitutes. His last moments on earth as a human being were with two, like a murderer and a thief. It's like, and so with all that being said, I think that we have again this very interesting opportunity to love one another and do so by any means necessary. If your religious if your religious compass is more Islamic or pagan or Jewish, I want to be Jew actually, but Jewish, or just because they do it really cool. The Jews are so cool, dude. But like whatever your religious influence is, I think the goal is all the same. It's
Yeah.
loving one another, it's compassion, and it's appreciation of this amazing thing that we have going on for us on this planet.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so we're gonna start talking about the subject of today's video,
Yeah,
and we'll probably have no time.
we're gonna squeeze it in.
We're gonna squeeze it in. So we're gonna talk about meal prepping. What is meal prep? Uh, they are pre-made meals. They can be semi-cooked or fully cooked. Most of the time, meal prepping has to be started either in the fridge or in the freezer, so it can just last longer. Meal prep can be dated back to the ancient Roman period, but during the Roman days, they did not have a freezer or a fridge, so they had to use salt or brine and other things like grape juice. And then it became more popular now because of the pre-made dinner you can buy in stores. some people even cook their own food just in bigger portions and store them in the freezer or the fridge. Now, meal prepping is really good for you because it takes away most of the stress of figuring out what you're going to eat or the rest for the rest of the week. And that's what I got on meal prepping. That's all my research. Got it right down from Google.
All right. Meal prepping is something that I ironically have never done for myself.
Oh, really?
No, I think the extent of my meal prepping is when I find these awesome like frozen dinners and all like Aldi has these great frozen like either it's like chicken or beef or whatever, but then it's just like the main course. Fantastic. But meal prep. So my wife does a lot of meal prep, and so I am privy to watch how that works. And it's a cool thing because it does take it's like one less. It's like Lieutenant Dan said, one less thing to worry about, and
Oh,
or
yeah.
Forrest said to Lieutenant Dan, sorry. It takes one less thing you got to worry about. You've already preemptively done it. Health wise, you're in more control because
Oh,
at the end,
definitely.
because at the end of the day, you can eat out a lot, right? I mean, trust me, I eat out way too much, but the emphasis of the food there is to be flavorful.
Oh, yes,
Whereas,
for sure.
whereas meal prep, you can focus more on like what you're getting nutritionally speaking, and it's cool. And also cost wise, you're better off buying things in bulk and then being able to break them into individual units. Like it's almost like treating your house as a restaurant.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
It's, I think meal prepping is really good. I also when you have them in the big sizes,
Mhm.
so that you can just snack on them throughout the week.
Yep.
Something that you don't have to worry about,
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah, I did actually. I take that back. I did do meal prepping stuff when I was like in my early 20s. I used to be like
Yeah.
me and my buddies were all obsessed with working out, and we'd go to we had a business license for a catering company. We'd go to Restaurant Depot. We buy a case of eggs and a case of chicken breasts and a case of like I think it was rice and a case of milk. And we ate like we would just cook all the we take the chicken breast, season it all, roast it off, cook off a bunch of rice, and we just store it in containers. And then whenever we were hungry, we just go and grab from it. Like
Oh, okay, that sounds good. I actually was at the hospital and I heard the security guards eating chicken and rice too. Did you use that to like bulk up?
yeah, well, chicken and rice is like I mean, classically speaking, that was from my era of nutrition and all this stuff was like the way to go. Now it's crazy. Like my wife keeps up with a lot of that stuff, and I listen to it. I listen to it from afar. But yeah, there's a lot more. It's a lot. I think the meal prepping and the understanding of nutrition has come a long way in the past 25 years, and so people are able to really, and especially with the internet being available, all the apps, AI, all that stuff, you're really able to contour what you're taking in nutritionally a lot better. But yes, chicken. It used to be bodybuilders you see like just very strict. Usually it would be just chicken, like all protein, and then very, very, very little carbohydrates. Now you see more of a balance because there's people understand that you can lose weight without having to just eat leaf or meat.
Oh yeah, because that carb gives you the energy to keep on going. But for some people, it's really hard though. You don't want to sit on the couch all day.
I know, man. I was thinking about it too. I'm kind of hungry, and I've got to be at work at 4, and so I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat before work because I need to eat something. And KFC's in the way. Love KFC. You know what I do that's terrible at KFC?
What?
I get the chicken tenders, and then I get a side of gravy, and I dunk the chicken tenders in the gravy.
Oh my goodness, does it taste good though?
Yeah, dude. What's even better though is if you get the chicken, you get the mashed potatoes and gravy, and you dunk the chicken tender into the mashed potatoes and the gravy. Yeah, it's like
Oh wow. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of like cholesterol on high.
it is, man. It is. That's why I take Lipitor.
Yeah.
This episode of Forlorn brought to you by Lipitor. Lipitor. It'll unclog your arteries.
Not sponsored. Not sponsored.
Not yet. Not yet, at least.
Not yet.
That'd be tight. What if they pick it up because they hear it in the algorithm and they're like, oh, dude, and then
Oh yeah.
you be the lady of Lipitor.
Okay. So,
How much time we got left?
well, it says 14:40, so we're gonna stop it and see.
Let's stop. We're stopping.
Okay. I don't understand. I was recording.
Do we not record? Oh, you got it on there.
Oh, it's loading, so it's gonna add it.
Oh, cool.
That's 7 minutes. This one's a little slow. Well, last time it wouldn't let me upload it because, we'll download it because it was an hour. Okay, so we have 5 more minutes.
All right.
Yeah. Are you able to put a timer on your phone?
I can't because my phone's dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I know I can do 5 minutes in my head.
Okay. We'll try.
All right, let's go.
Okay. We only have a few questions left.
Okay, cool. Fire away.
Fire away.
Bang, bang, bang.
Boom! Okay. How do you feel about meal prepping?
It's a very controversial subject. Brings a lot of emotion to my heart. Meal prepping, I think it's cool. You know, it's I wish I had that type of that ability to eat the same thing that many times in a row.
Yeah.
I am a spoiled brat when it comes to food, man. I'll tell you.
Yes.
Part of the reason, you know, that was I think one of the downsides of being a chef for so long. You could always either you had the means to make whatever you wanted, or you knew where to get it, or you would think about like I'm a food order. So sometimes if I drive if I go out to Arlington, I'll stop by this place called the Italian Store, and I'll pick up a pizza and like 3 or 4 subs from them, and that's what I'm eating. That's my meal prep. That's one of my meal prep tips. The Italian Store in North Arlington. And I go up there, and you go up there, just grab a few sandwiches and bring it back. Or if I get like near Vietnamese pho, which fortunately they started selling at the Tri Thai, which is awesome. It's a Vietnamese noodle soup, fantastic, but it's very hard to find around these parts. So if I find it elsewhere, I'll pick up a few of them. And that's what I'm eating for the next 2 or 3 days.
So one of your impulse buys is like nice food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a food dude. That's like I've spent more money on food than I probably should have in my life. It's
Me
very,
too,
yeah.
but more on like fast food because of certain reasons.
Well, there's been hey man, I'm definitely I'm like the king of going to the fast food place, and then like when I get the bag, you know, they put in the amount of silverware for the amount of people they think is for, and there'll be like 3 or 4 packs of silverware in there. I'm like, no, it's just me, dude.
Yeah, always.
Like 48. Yeah, well, you don't eat 48 chicken nuggets in one sitting. What are you doing with yourself?
Okay. Do you have a favorite prepackaged dinner or meal?
Man,
Well, you just said that.
yeah, the ones at Aldi, and I don't know what they're called, but they're so if you're in the vegetable aisle and you go all the way to it's at the very end of the vegetable aisle on the left side, and it's in the top upper corner, and they're in a white package.
Wow, you got this down to like the T.
Oh man, it's a weird thing, and like they have a Thai chicken coconut one that is awesome.
I'm gonna have to try that.
That's good. The Thai chicken coconut and the artichoke stuffed chicken breasts are the 2 bosses of those. So those are my favorite packaged meals. When I was a little kid, though, there was this thing called the way they called it was like a kids TV dinner. It was
Oh, Kids Cuisine?
Yes, Kids Cuisine. Yes.
Oh yeah, with the little penguin on it?
Yes.
They just came out with a new one that's more animated.
Okay.
And I wanted to try it so bad with my friend for like one time.
Man, did you ever get one as a kid?
Oh, what do you mean?
The Kids Cuisines?
I lived on those things.
Oh man, see, I never got one, man. And so then finally, like when I was in college, I tried it, and I was like, yo, this is not great.
What?
Yeah, man, like.
No, as a kid, they were like, I guess the word these days would be bussin'.
They're bussin'?
Well, as a kid.
Are they bussin' or bussin'?
Like bussin'. I think it's the right word.
Yeah.
But no, I love. Well, my mom, she worked she worked hard to keep us alive, and when she'd come home for dinner, she'd pop out the little kids cuisine, you have your brownie and the chicken
Yeah.
nuggets. I mean, but as an adult, when you know what real food's supposed to taste like, then it's a little like,
Man, I always
yeah.
thought that chick, the penguin always looked like he was having such a good time, man.
I know.
Yeah, there's a great show called The Food That America Was Built on History Channel.
Oh, I've seen that.
Fantastic.
That's-
TV dinner one is good. But I think we're coming up on our 5 minutes. Are we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next time. You have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. And again, this is Chris Allen Kensworthy. Where can they find you?
You can find me on social media platforms at Christopher Allen Kenworthy, also Chris K Comedy, and then sometimes on busted.com. Just kidding. That was only one time. I'm not doing that again.
Okay, see you later. Okay.
All right, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap like a Trojan. That's a wrap like a